Hello everybody, this is Cholera bringing you set 2 of OGN Sparkies versus Air Force Ace, and the man you're seeing right here, Yellow arnc, is going to be facing the winner, Reach, and the dominator of set 1. Yellow arnc has not done poorly this year in terms of the individual leagues. However, recently he has been expelled from both the MSL and OSL round of 16s. So, while his brother Luxury is alive and still kicking in both Star Leagues, in fact, is going quite far. Yellow arnc has not had that honor, unfortunately, even though he does wear a red cock, a red rooster on his shirt. He unfortunately, unlike his twin brother, just cannot get very far in these Star Leagues, it seems. A little bit disappointing. And I really do hope Air Force Ace lets their players play in the next OSL and MSL preliminaries, because I don't think they were allowed to play in the prelims last season. I don't know what the reason was, but I do wish to see them do that so I can see Reach possibly qualifying for an MSL or an OSL. That would be absolutely amazing. Not only would it be schooling young children in Winners League, he'll also be dominating them in some individual Star Leagues, which I would love to see. The thing is, back when Reach was playing 2v2 still, I said I want to see Reach play some 1v1s, and some people like Moletrap said, Reach is not going to do well, and Reach has done pretty darn well since, I gotta say. He's proven a lot of naysayers wrong, and I have to say, if he's allowed to play in the Star Leagues, I think he'll prove a lot of other people wrong, and he'll end up doing quite well. Some of his strategies might be old school, but I gotta say, just looking at the control last game, that was some very, very nice and innovative play there, going for the double shuttle drop, going with the Zealots to absorb the hits from the Dragoons, and then plopping those Reavers down, just absolutely just face-stomping Taza there, and just his level of multitasking is still very up to snuff. He was able to fend off an attack at the front of his base while sending another Reaver at the back of Taza's base, all at the same time towards the end. So Reach, though, is going to be facing a Zerg opponent, and we do know that Reach is not so great against Zerg, although looking at these stats, wow, lifetime record, he is 3-1 against Yellow arnc. So Yellow arnc evidently has been schooled many a time by the Mantos, Park Jung-suk, but Reach historically is weakest against Zerg, probably because he doesn't respect the race. Even though I play Zerg, I can understand why being 15 feet tall as Reach is, he wouldn't respect killing a Zergling or a Hydralisk or whatever, some puny little insignificant creature, and so he probably never bothers practicing against it, and hence why he loses some of these games. But we'll see how he does here against Yellow arnc. Yellow arnc going to be facing him on the new Autumn Wind, or Sin Chupung Ryeong. And this is a pretty good map, I think, for both races. I think it leads to a lot of options for both races. I think the Protoss really can be all over the place here on this map, and that's what they should do, in fact. They should just attack from different angles, get some speed lots down there, and get just forces everywhere, left and right. Maybe go for a Sayer DT or a Sayer Templar strategy so they can deny the Zerg knowledge of where they're going. The Zerg just has to hold on to the late game, because if they can hold on to all three of their gases at the top or bottom of the map, then they're in a very comfortable position, and they can really deny the Protoss. That basically they can go on the offense and deny the Protoss their expansions. But in the mid game, I think the Protoss is the strongest on this map. So I'll be looking for Reach to go for a strong mid-game strategy here. Looks like he is going to go for a Forge Fast Expand, most likely, unless there's 2 gateways being made, which isn't impossible. We saw that once recently against Savior. Who did that again? I forgot what Protoss it was. It was definitely a pretty exciting game, though. And looks like, interesting enough, we're going to see a 9-pull here from Yellow arnc. So if Reach is thinking about doing some kind of 2-gate, which he isn't because he's moved his probe away, so most likely he won't be doing anything like that. If he's thinking about it, it wouldn't work anyway. And I think that is Casey on the right there. I'm going to guess that's Casey with glasses. Yeah, so I mean, Reach, his Forge Fast Expand games have not been the most spectacular, to be honest. The couple of Zerg games he's won is really because he managed to just outplay the Zerg later on, but it wasn't really because of his build. He's not really good at like Corsair Reaver, for example, any of these new technical builds. He's really not succeeded with it at all. A couple of times I've seen him do it. and often he's fallen behind, like that game against Hoja on Medusa. The reason why he won that game, of course, is because Hoja just suddenly got hit by a flying bicep at the end of the game. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm playing against Reach," and then he just collapsed in his chair and then lost to like an army that was like 1/3 of his size, and he lost when he had like 5 bases to Reach's 2. But anyway, Reach looks like he's going to go 2 cannons first here. And using his probe to just be annoying there. We're probably going to see... Actually, we're only seeing 2 Lings out here. So a little bit of a fake from Yellow Arnak, interesting enough. And Reach might lose his probe. That would be really bad. He needs to not lose that probe. Very important. He's going to run it away so it doesn't die. So Reach has actually sort of wasted his minerals here in these cannons. He's, allowed Yellow Arnak to inadvertently gain a little bit of a lead here because Yellow, instead of building 6 Lings, is only building 2. And hence those other 2 larvae are going to become drones. Reach going for Nexus next. Very standard play. Although, I mean, this is not something that's so far, so far behind that he can't possibly come back. I mean, obviously this is a small thing compared to something later on which could be very bad, like losing your shuttle, for example, which Reach, unfortunately, has done quite a few times. But yeah, there looks like there's an extractor going up and a second expansion going up for Yellow Arnak. He's going to play for a pretty standard opening here, 3-hatch opening, and probably into a 5-hatch build. That's the most likely build in this map. You really want to play relatively defensively in the mid game. You want to play safe and protect your economic lead as a Zerg player in this map. And it looks like this Zergling is going to start chasing the probe away, so Reach is not going to be able to scout the main anymore, although I do wonder if he is going to be scouting the bottom right, or if he's going to manage to get there, because that'll be important to know whether that's there or not. So, yeah, I mean, right now we're seeing basically just a pretty standard opening, and I gotta favor Yellow Arnak here. I mean, I know Reach is the man toss, but he has been very busy picking up those Taipeng Dong 2 intercontinental ballistic missiles from space, and hence he hasn't had that much time to practice his PVZ. I mean, he is naturally manly enough to beat Protosses left and right, but like I said, he's not that great in PVZ, so he might actually require some practice to get good at it. But we'll see how he does here against Yellow Arnak. But I will say, though, that absolutely honestly, I think with a standard opening, Yellow Arnak is going to be a little bit favored here, just because he plays it so often. And looks like a Zealot coming out for Reach. It's still bothering me thinking about who did Savior lose against. Man, I completely forgot who Savior lost against in that series on Andromeda when there was a 2-gate. I'm going to try to look it up if there's a lull in the action. But looks like Reach is going to move out with a Zealot here, and he's going to just keep harassing these Zerglings, prevent them from getting too close to his base and seeing what's going on at all. And obviously, that Zealot's going to prevent any kind of run-by from happening. Looks like a Spire going down for Yellow Arnak, and that is going to indicate he's most likely going to go for that 5-hatch build, get some Scourge out, and then use that to protect him while he gets 5 hatcheries up and a couple of evolution chambers, and then his den and all that good stuff. Reach looks like he's going to play standard, open up with a Stargate, and then we'll see what his next tech is. Given that this is Chupung Ryeong, I feel like he's most likely not going to go for a Corsair Reaver. He's not very good with it, but also because it's not a great build on this map. So, I think the Templar build is just overall much stronger. And we are going to see, a Citadel of Adun from Reach. So Reach is going to be going for Templar, and I think that's a smart option, obviously, on this map. So, looks like another hatchery going down, and interesting position for that hatchery from Yellow Arnak. Yellow Arnak just planting it in front. I guess that's going to help him create a little bit of a front there, in terms of if he gets a couple of sunken colonies behind that, they'll be hard for Zealots to get to. Reach is probably going to get at least 1 Overlord. That Overlord should go down before Scourge come around. And we'll see how good his anti-Scourge play is, because I have seen him lose a couple of times Corsairs and Shuttles to Scourge, and I don't want to see that happening in this game. Oh, look at this, though! A second gas is going up at